This is Russ with Devoted Golfer TV. I'm here with Bill McPherson from Graphite Designs. And Bill and I have known each other for a very, very long time. And if you go to Golf Shaft Reviews, you'll see almost all of their products, with the exception of some of the new ones that we're going to be talking about today, in the database. So, let's get started here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You bet, Russ.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I've got a few shafts here that we can talk about today. I'm going to start off with our brand new 2025 wood shaft model called GC, or Game Changer. The tagline being, innovation will always be the biggest game changer. Okay, so the Graphite design team made a change from a standpoint of the mandrel that's used in most all of our wood shaft production, increasing the mandrel OD, which results in a thicker OD shaft, in this case for the GC model. So this is the first...
So you dropped the mandrel... You dropped the mandrel OD.
We've increased the OD size, which results in a larger OD outside diameter of the shaft.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I get it. Yeah.
Right. So that's the
So
first.
it sounds like you thinned it up from the inside. You made this so you're able to maintain your wall thickness.
Same similar wall thickness, but a larger OD in this case.
Yeah.
Just not a big deal. Not a tremendously large, but the one big change that we did with the GC when it comes to innovation, as I mentioned, is this does use a little bit different mandrel. So the larger OD, in conjunction with a 90-degree hoop ply in the butt section of this shaft, as well as our M40X material technology, increases the rigidity of the shaft. However,
Through this area.
However, we're doing it without adding material, thus resulting in additional weight, and thus the boardiness that can occur when you use too much material or multiple wraps of material to do what we're able to do with the M40X and this new mandrel. We call that technology...
We've got increased stiffness through here without necessarily putting a woven material in.
No woven material.
Yeah, so I'm kind of remembering the hoop strength on this thing, which didn't do what shafts typically do, which is go up like that. It came up very slowly and it kind of flattened out, didn't it? Yeah.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
And so that's where you load, right? So where's my initial load? Well, guess what? It's right here.
Dead center in the middle. Yeah. We call that technology, we've coined it AD Shield.
AD?
Shield.
Okay.
AD Shield technology. And then in addition, we have down here in the tip section of the shaft, our T1100G material technology. The idea again behind that is we're increasing the stability of the shaft without increasing weight, thus resulting in a pleasing feeling shaft that's, in this particular case, designed to promote mid-launch and low to low-mid spin flights.
And did that increase the torsional stability here?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't. So torque is affected by, as you know, the bias ply of the shaft.
Right.
In this particular case, standard torque ratings for this shaft throughout, the weight ranges for that matter, but by no means does it affect the torsional stiffness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're used to playing at DI, even this.
So the DI model, if you were looking at it from a standpoint of the bend profile,
or IZ.
Yeah, even IZ, on a scale of 1 being soft, 5 being very stiff. The DI in the hands is a 2 rating, meaning medium, and the midsection a 2 rating, and then in the tip a 4, meaning stiff.
Yeah.
This particular shaft
comes up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The new GC would be a 4 in the handle, so there's that stiffness.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about. It would be a 3 in the midsection and a 3+ in the tip. But
you still have a little bit of this going on.
A little bit. There's a little bit of a difference there, but keep in mind the GC uses T1100G, the DI does not.
Okay.
The DI has been around for how long? 15 years.
Yeah.
2010.
Longer than me.
It's definitely been a great shaft for us, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So this in particular, comparing it to DI, that would be a little firmer.
Yeah.
Where DI promotes a higher launch condition. This is more of a mid-launch condition.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, DI is steeper, and so this is not as steep.
Right.
I live on the I curve. I just don't happen to have them with me, so I can't look that up.
So we offer the GC in a 45 gram, 55 gram, 65, 75, and 85 gram weights.
Yeah.
And all the flexes starting at R2, which is light for us,
Yeah.
R1, which is regular, and into the 60 gram weight, we have stiff regular or SR flex. And then, of course, S, X, and 2 are extra stiff in the 6 and 7 series.
How many shafts are in the matrix? I'm looking up there.
13, if I remember right.
Yeah.
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 Enough.
And, so what you need to understand is that when you're dealing with shafts from Graphite Design, unlike most other shaft companies, when you do the first derivative of the EI profiles, they're sitting right on top of each other. So I can move from weight to weight and stiffness to stiffness, and it's the same shaft. It's just a little heavier, a little stiffer,
Yes.
right? And so, as a fitter, okay, I need to give you a little more stiffness. Okay, I just go up one. I didn't change shafts. I didn't change profiles because nobody in the business has profile consistency like you do through the weights and stiffnesses. Nobody.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I think most fitters would also find that
Yeah.
pleasing.
Yeah. So when I'm telling people what some of these things mean in the software, and you can see all of the shafts sitting on the first derivative curve that aren't changing. So let me explain what happens when I go to first derivative. I'm taking out the changes of stiffness, and I'm looking at what the stiffness profile looks like from shaft to shaft without the effect of the weight or the stiffness. It's just what is the bend profile of that shaft. And if they're all the same, it goes in the fitting system because I can work with it.
Right.
Yeah. So after that,
The next wood shaft I want to talk about right quick, this was actually launched last year, so it's not technically new for this year, but this is our anti-gravity, we call it the AG, anti-gravity shaft that's made also obviously by Graphite Design. This is a sub 39 gram weighted shaft. We offer this in three flexes of R2, R1, and SR.
yeah,
And in this particular case, we also use M40X in the handle of the shaft.
right.
But it's a much more active tip shaft. Okay, it's
Gotcha.
definitely
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
get that ball up in the air.
All right.
But it's incredible the amount of stability that this shaft has when comparing it to other shaft manufacturers that have, the similar lightweight and softer bend profile that this is designed for to promote, again, the high launch
Yeah.
and mid spin. This particular shaft has some.
compared to what was it called, Chichibu?
So Chichibu would have been this. We replaced this shaft in our line. This replaced Chichibu, I should say. And Chichibu was very similar to that. It didn't have the material technologies, and it was softer and a little bit longer. Similar torque ratings, but it was designed to maybe for much, much slower swing speeds.
Okay.
This particular shaft, we've had guys at 120 miles an hour plus hit it, and it's incredibly stable. They are amazed at how straight and far this shaft goes, even with those high swing speeds. So I would just simply say,
Get that
don't
shaft.
discount
I don't recognize it. So
Don't discount this shaft.
yeah, you need to send some of those over to me.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So this is our anti-gravity, again, positioned within our line to promote high launch and mid spin. But it's amazing how this shaft will stay with you even at high swing
Chichibu is
speeds.
gone.
Chichibu has come out of our line.
Okay.
Yep. The next, Russ, is a new iron shaft from Graphite Design called Raune. Raune means aim in Japanese.
Yeah.
The Raune iron is going to be offered by us starting on the 13th of February. It's just right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now. We're going to offer the Raune iron in a 60 grams regular flex, 75 gram regular flex, and 90 gram stiff flex as a unitized design, meaning the tip is a 370 tip, and it's designed to be tip trimmed in half-inch increments
Yeah.
when you're building the irons. So this will be an aftermarket custom club manufacturer, club builder, club fitter type shaft.
Okay.
Yes. So Raune, as I said, 60, 75, and 90. We'll also offer a 105 gram taper tip, discrete length, constant weight offering, and S and X flex as well.
Yes, it's fine.
105 gram.
105 grams.
When I've seen 105 gram iron shafts in the past,
It's my time. God.
what would you call them? Rebar?
I would say definitely stiffer than what you would maybe prefer it to be.
Yeah.
But again, graphite design, known for producing shafts that feel tremendously well.
Yeah.
This particular shaft, I would say, is for a guy that's maybe in a 120 gram iron steel shaft and is ready to try graphite.
Yeah.
This particular shaft right here would be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Positioned in our line with regards to the 105 gram weight at 140 MSRP, map price of 109.
Okay. Yeah. So that's interesting. We're going to have to take a hard look at that because I've got a lot of people, including Mark, who hits. I mean, he's playing your iron shafts right now. AD, what?
The Tour AD 95 gram, if I remember right.
Yeah.
In stiff flex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this would be
for
softer
him,
than the Tour AD.
So for him, it took the shock out of some arm problems, and so he was able to play like 27 holes or more a day on a buddy trip to Ireland, where had he still been playing steel, would have been paralyzed at that point. Yeah. So there is a place for carbon fiber.
Yep.
And I've seen some heavy carbon fiber with a guy that hits his driver, like, we never got him over 400. We just got him to like 390, right? But he's playing heavy carbon fiber.
Okay. And then lastly, a lot of our customers have this Tour AD driving iron in their bags.
Yeah.
And this has been a very popular shaft for us over the years. We've decided to go ahead.
There was a really famous Texas golfer playing that.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
We've decided to go ahead and build upon our Tour AD VF family, which the VF Wood and Hybrid are now out there, which is a very stiff shaft, our low launch, low spin profile. And we're adding a Tour AD VF driving iron.
Yeah.
So this will definitely be much stiffer than the driving iron of modern times in the orange color, if you will. Yeah. This is going to be our missile launcher right here, our low launch, low spin, wind cheating shaft. We'll offer this in 95 and 105 grams, SNX flex only.
Yeah.
Same price point as the Tour AD utility iron, $99 map price.
Okay.
And it will launch in the summer of 2025, so July timeframe.
So I already have the drivers
and the hybrids. So we got to get you these to measure next.
Yeah. And I like that. I like the profile. It loses stiffness early, maybe right around here, right? And then it goes absolutely dead straight in terms of stiffness out to the tip.
Right.
Yeah. So what I'm finding with my experiences, a reasonably high launch, good spin, but incredibly stable through this area. So the guys that want a high launch but they want stability, right? I go there.
Yeah.
And
this particular shaft does use the M40X material technology, again in the handle section, to support that extra rigidity that most players are going to want out of a driving iron like this.
Right. So, one of the things that, I spend a lot of time doing is looking at camera equipment, right? So you have a particular camera and then it's not available anymore. Well, what people don't recognize or understand is that, there's so many of these chips made. And then when they're out of the chips, you can't make that camera anymore, so you move on to another camera. And all of the recent designs have been, okay, we got a new chip, and it's higher resolution or faster or so on. And so when you look at a product line like the DI to the IZ, what's the latest rendition of that?
Well, so we really have never replaced DI.
You haven't replaced it, but
we've complemented it.
When you moved to the IZ, it was a material change.
A slight material change. It was one of the first shafts that used the T1100G material technology.
Right.
Yes. Right. So
as we move on in these designs, the profiles aren't changing, but the materials are.
It's modernizing.
Yeah.
So perfect example, the Tour AD BB model. XC would be the modernized BB.
Yeah.
It's one way to go to look at it. The new GC, I would position it as a modernized MT,
Okay.
280 MT, the yellow shaft.
Yeah. So all the girls that were playing the BBs on tour, they did love the turquoise color.
Oh, you're thinking of the GP. So the GP, the VF would be the modernized GP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So BBXC,
And
VF, GP, and then of course MT.
but at the same
GC.
time, you don't discontinue the shafts that people have already paid to put in their fitting system.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got a fair amount of shafts that have been around a long time, still in line, because they still sell well, and there's a reason why, because they still perform well.
Yeah. Because the profiles were functioning for a particular golfer. So,
right.
you know, so for those of you that are looking at golf shafts, especially high-end product like this, you really just can't go read Instagram or go on YouTube. You need to come to a club fitter that has the array of shafts that Graphite Designs produces and find the one that works for you. Just because your buddy's hitting it doesn't mean you're going to hit it, because you have different swings, right?
That's right. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Go get fit, experience what a Graphite Design shaft can offer you in your game for pretty much the cost of a couple rounds of golf.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll stay with you for a long time. Just because you go get the latest Callaway driver doesn't mean you have to change your shaft out. You can
Right.
plug that shaft right into your new Callaway head.
Yep.
Keep on using it because it really fits you like a shoe.
Yeah.
When you're fit into a golf shaft, it's like fitting you for a shoe. It's a perfect fit.
Yep. Yeah. So, Bill, once again, thanks for
Russ.
your support.
Oh,
Thanks
happy to-
for your time.
happy to do
And
it.
for those of you that have been with us on YouTube for this entire thing, thanks to sticking with us, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the site so that other people can find what we're doing. Thank you for being with us.